First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zengkong, homage to the 16 Karmapa, His Holiness, and homage to Master Tukten Tarji, homage to the three jewels of the altar, homage to the main deity of Homa today, Medicine Buddha of the eastern realm of Lapis Lazuli light. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples, and our VIPs today is the Madam Wife of Ambassador Daniel Liao, the Taipei rep to Sweden, and Dharma Sister Judy, and accountant to Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, and producers to the Kini Tianzang Shinten from CTI-TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Xuyaqi, from the Sunny Line Dance Group, Dharma Sister Eliza Chen, and from the Voices from Heaven Choir Group, Dharma Sister Chu Qi-jun, and from California, Dharma Brother Gao Minglu and Mrs. Gao, and Dr. Gao, and Dr. Zhuang and Mrs. Zhuang, and from overseas Chinese in Canada, a violinist, and Professor Li, and also those VIPs that have not registered themselves. We would like to welcome and thank them. Next Sunday, November 6th, there would be Guru Gule Homa fire offering ceremony. So everybody, please tell everybody else. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do? We've talked about Medicine Buddha for many times before. Although he's a Buddha of the East, he is the same as Akshoba Buddha but with different name. And his Pure Land is the Pure Land of the Medicine Buddha, the Lapis Lazuli light Pure Land. The Pure Land of the Medicine Buddha is an extremely nice Buddha land. And he has 12 great vows that include a lot of things. First is to illuminate, to generate the luminosity yourself, but also to illuminate other people. So, in his salvation of sentient beings, he wished that everyone would have a radiant body. And second, he is the great to enlighten all sentient beings because he has great merits. That's his second vow. And the third vow, so that to satisfy all the needs of sentient beings, and that means it's to fulfill all the needs of sentient beings, or the resources needed, and to enable all sentient beings to practice Mahayana Buddha Dharma. Because in Buddhism there are the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. So Hinayana is to liberate selves, and they don't have the wish to liberate others. That's why they're called the Hinayana, or of small vehicle. But the Mahayana, the great vehicle, is also to liberate others. So that vow is slightly bigger than Hinayana. And the fifth is to enable all beings to uphold the three collective precepts while cultivating. So what it meant here is to wish that all beings can cultivate spiritually. The sixth is to enable those who are needy to become fulfilled. For example, there are some born blind or deaf, or they are not endowed with the five roots, which is like they have no hands or no legs. So he could make them complete, so not lacking. So there are many benefits in practicing Medicine Buddha's Dharma. These are the 12 great vows. Seventh is to eradicate all illnesses of sentient beings, 84,000 medicines to heal 84,000 illnesses, so that body and mind would be at peace and happy, and to attain the Supreme Body. The eighth is to transform the female into male. There are certain things, inconveniences with being female, so in the future they can be transformed into male. Medicine Buddha has such a vow. And the ninth is to be free from the demonic paths, the evil views and thoughts, and to guide beings toward what is right and correct, so that sentient beings will not be in the demonic realm and to have incorrect views or evil thoughts. The 10th is to relieve beings from the disasters of tyrants, robbers, thieves, etc. So they are free from all bad things. That means all disasters and calamities and accidents are eradicated. The 11th is to provide to beings who are starving and thirsty. So those without food and drink would be able to receive food and drink. The 12th is to provide nice clothing to those who are poor and have no clothes to wear. So those were the 12 great vows made by Medicine Buddha. So why did Medicine Buddha make such a vow? The 7th is very important, is to eradicate all illnesses of sentient beings. That's why he's called the Medicine Buddha, or the Buddha of healing. And his appearance, his hand is holding an ambrosia vase filled with 84,000 kinds of medicine to cure 84,000 kinds of illnesses. That's why he's called the Medicine Buddha. That's his vow. And today I would like to make an announcement. On Tuesday, so this Tuesday morning at 9:20, we would gather at Seattle Lechang Temple and go to the Sakya Temple in Ballard, Seattle, primarily to pay homage to the Dakchin Rinpoche, which is the patriarch of the Sakya school, Dakchin Rinpoche, and to make offering to the Sakya Temple. Grandmaster has great affinity with the Sakya Temple. So Sakya Pa or Sakya school or Sakya sect, or in Chinese that's the flower school. There are two Dharma kings of Sakya Pa. One is the Trizin. He's in India, and Dakchin Rinpoche is in Seattle. So His Holiness the Dakchin Rinpoche had visited the Seattle Lechang Temple and performed Homa together with Grandmaster. So he is a patriarch of the Sakya sect. That's my affinity with them. And second is the Zhong Rinpoche, who established the Sakya Temple in Seattle. And the one who did fundraising was the Zhong Rinpoche. So he raised fund and built the Sakya Temple so that the Dakchin Sakya Rinpoche had a place to spread Buddha Dharma. And the Zhong Rinpoche was Grandmaster's lineage root guru, and that's Master Sakya Tsongkhong. I refer to him as Master Sakya Tsongkhong. So because we have this affinity, we would pay homage to His Holiness the Dakchin Sakya Rinpoche. So the Zhong Rinpoche and Master Dukten Torchi have entered into parinirvana, and Dakchin Rinpoche also entered into parinirvana about half a year ago. But his physical body was still enshrined at the Sakya Temple for this past 6 months. So the abbot of the Sakya Temple said that on November 5th he would transport the physical body of Dakchin Rinpoche to India to be cremated. So we would like to pay homage to Dakchin Rinpoche, because this will be my last time to pay homage to Dakchin Rinpoche and also to make offering to them. And they will transport him or the body back to India to be cremated. And my exposition on Lamdre has the lineage of Sakya Pa. This is the highest and most supreme Dharma of Sakya Pa. And the Zhong Rinpoche was my lineage root guru. And Dakchin Rinpoche had also visited Seattle Lechang Temple and conducted Homa ceremony together with me. So because we had such great affinity, we had to go. It's like to send him off. If you would like to join, it would be on Tuesday morning, November 1st. We will leave Seattle Temple at 9:20. You can also go directly to the Sakya Temple in Seattle. And perhaps after the homage and the offering, we would come back to Seattle Temple for lunch. I heard that it's not easy to park there, but a block away there's Fred Meyer, and you can park there. So the Sakya Temple, from the place I lived before on 10th Avenue, are very close. It's close to Ballard. So the Sakya Temple is also in Ballard. Yes. Especially recently, everybody is reciting the Mahabala. So we will go back to the Ballard, Mahabala place. That place is called Ballard, or in Chinese, Bala. So I live on 10th Avenue, coming down toward the lake and turn, and that's close to Fred Meyer. That would be the Sakya Temple. So if you can't find a parking, it's best to park at the parking lot at the Fred Meyer. It's very close by. That's on 85th. So Lamdre is the highest and the greatest Dharma of Sakyapa, and it includes Hevajra. So today, now we'll talk about the fourth level empowerment of Tantrayana, which is paired with the 8 noble paths. Last night we talked about the wisdom empowerment, which is paired with the 5 powers, and now the fourth level empowerment is paired with the 8 noble paths. The fourth empowerment is the highest empowerment. So after this empowerment, it doesn't mean that it's the realm of no practice. Yes, you can say it is the realm of no practice, but what you conduct is the 8 noble paths and not the 8 deviant or evil paths. Not the evil paths. And it's not the deviant path, or it's not the ghostly path, but it's the 8 noble or proper path. This is very important, because the critical point between Buddhahood and demon realm is the 8 noble paths. If you don't execute or apply the 8 noble paths, then you would become a demon. But if you apply and in your conduct is the 8 noble path, then you attain Buddhahood. So you either attain Buddhahood in this direct life, or directly in this life, or you attain to become a demon. Because if you don't do the 8 noble paths, then you become a demon. But if you apply the 8 noble paths, then you would become a Buddha. And the 8 noble paths applied to anything is right. It's not that you only apply it when you receive the 4th empowerments. But in the process of the 8 noble paths, you receive the 4th empowerment. So please, those follow any of the deviant or all the messy practices. That's not right. And what is the 8 noble paths? First is the right view. and the right thought. So your thought is correct, and the right speech, and the right conduct, that your speech and whatever you do is correct, and the right livelihood, or your mind is correct, and the right diligence which pierce all Dharma. Diligence is everywhere in each of the Dharma, and the right mindfulness and the right samadhi. Your meditation is the correct one, not the deviant or the skewed one. If you walk the askew or the deviant path, then you need to change and come back to the right path and not the other way around. This is very important. So talking about the right view, one concept. Sariputra, at the time of the Buddha, said it very clearly about the Eight Noble Paths. And the Eight Noble Paths are complemented with the precepts, meditation, and wisdom. Precepts, meditative stability, and wisdom, which is the three non-leaking studies of Buddhism. Even the enlightened ones have to abide by the precepts. So although for the enlightened ones you can control your mind, but you cannot let your cows to step on other people's fields and destroy their crops. So the cows have to walk on the right path, cannot trample upon other people's fields and destroy their crops. So although you can control, you can realize and control, and you don't violate anything. So you will not violate any other people. If you violate other people, then that's problematic. So that would not be the right view. So Sariputra talked about the right view, and first it talks about ethics. So at the time of Buddha Sakyamuni, Sariputra first taught about ethics, and that's very broad, including about your daily activities, how to cultivate spiritualism, and what comply to the Dharma and what does not comply to the Buddha Dharma. So the things that comply to the Buddha Dharma is the right view, and the things that do not comply with the Buddha Dharma is called the deviant views or the slanted views. So the 10 evils and the 10 virtues. What are the 10 evils? Killing, in sexual indulgences, intoxicated, stealing, killing, lying, evil words, double tongue, discord, and one more, and then greed, anger, and delusion. That's the 10 evils, and the opposites would be the 10 virtues. So greed, anger, delusion, doubt, pride, and then killing, lying, stealing, infidelity, and intoxicated. That's the 10 evils. And if you are away from the 10 evils, then you would be on the right view. Otherwise, you would be on the evil view. So please listen carefully. So killing, stealing, lying, infidelity, intoxicant, greed, anger, delusion, doubt, and pride. These are the 10 evils. And among them, so with the right view, you are bound by the precepts. You cannot say bad words or curses. Like Grandmaster don't say bad words. I just say your mother good. In English, that's not bad, right? It's something, there's no mistake about it. If I want to shout at someone, I would just, I didn't say anything. I still didn't say anything. So you cannot say all that bad words. Like the curses of China or Taiwanese curses with 3 words. It's not the 3-letter Sutra, but it's actually curses in Taiwan. It's called the 3-letter Sutra. Actually, cursing is really pleasing, but that's not the right view. Or if you are bragging and boastful, and then you're chatting and gossiping and spreading rumors, so you're wasting time. It's better if you chant the Buddha's name or reciting mantra. Please don't talk about other people behind their back. But sometimes in Grandmaster's Dharma talk, I would criticize a certain thing, and it can only be done by the enlightened one. If you're not enlightened, please don't criticize, because you would create karma. But the enlightened ones can transform the criticism into emptiness. Actually, by criticizing, you're breaching the precepts of speech. Or if you lie, if something doesn't exist and you say it exists, or vice versa, those are all lies. Lies, double tongues, bad words, curses, bragging or gossiping. So, false words. And double tongue is you're sowing discord. So you tell A that B is doing this to you, and you're talking to B about that A is trying to hurt A. So it's like divide and conquer. You know, they're sowing discord. Women love to gossip, and you're really happy doing it. So without knowing, you become double-tongued. Men do too, not just women. All the same. So sometimes chatting actually would hurt all the talkers, and sometimes it would become really disastrous. And lying is so easy to do. There are some people who tell lies all their lives. There's no right, no truth in all of his or her speech. So it becomes a kind of illness. That's not allowed. Lies and false words are not right. So this is in the realm of ethics. And the right view, so your view is true and authentic. So if you had the vision, then you say you had, or if you don't have the vision, then you say you don't. So that's truth, facts, factual, truthfulness. So Sakyamuni Buddha and Jesus often stressed on the importance of truth, of true words. In the Bible, Jesus often said that I'm telling you truthfully, which means that what he said was true. So those who lie, please be careful. So if you don't perform the 8 Noble Paths, that's wrong. One is in the realm of ethics and moral. Sariputra taught about the 8 Noble Paths very clearly. And what is precepts? What is meditative stability? What is wisdom? And in the 8 Noble Paths, embody the precepts, meditation, and wisdom. Or the precepts, meditation, and wisdom embodies the 8 Noble Paths. We often say, you cannot kill. But in Tantrayana, it's very interesting. Okay, Great Master has an analogy that was being posted on the Tribhuvan News. Someone asked Dalai Lama, if a mosquito stings you, what would you do? First, you would blow on it, but the mosquito just lifted its tail and didn't leave. And then Dalai Lama said, just move the hand. But the mosquito stick there. And finally, with a slap, the mosquito is dead. And there was another venerable Haitao, as you know. So when the mosquito stings you, don't move. And that's a way to abandon attachments. So the mosquito is stinging you, and let it sting. Let the mosquito be happy and draw blood from you. And that's like a giving, donation. So just let it sting. So when there's pain, then you should endure it and eliminate it. And then when it swells, just eliminate the swell and the redness and the pain of the body. That's the training to purge or to eliminate your attachment. So someone asked me that Dalai Lama said, when you can't stand it anymore, just slap on it. And for Great Master, when I see a mosquito flying, before it stings, I would slap it. Why? You would think, isn't that killing? Great Master has this power being reborn to the Pure Land, leaving behind suffering. Namo Amitabha, let you take refuge. Go to the Pure Land, and then I would blow a breath on it. So there's this kind of killing. So everyone's view and opinion are different. Dalai Lama, Venerable Haitao, and Grandmaster. There was a kid by the riverbank, saw an old monk or an old sadhaka fishing on the river. And the kid asked him, Buddhists don't kill, how come you're fishing here? So the question was raised, and then the Lama turned his head and looked at the kid and said, I fished you before. Do you know what that means? After he fished the fish, he performed the bardo deliverance and let it be reincarnated. So the soul of the fish is reincarnated. So the fish that he ate is empty. So that's not considered killing, because after he fished, he bardo delivered it. And the fish reincarnated to become this kid. Is it better to be a human being or to be a fish? Of course, to be a human being, because the human beings eat fish and the big fish eat human beings. Like if you swim in the ocean, you can be eaten by sharks and you would be delivered by it. So there are many views and opinions about killing. But the right view is that if you have the virtues from the spiritual cultivation, then you can kill. Then if you master or you are warranted in your bardo deliverance, then you can kill. Otherwise, if you don't master bardo deliverance, then that would be killing. Because the karma of killing is very heavy. It's the first and most heavy. Killing is. The teacher asked Xiaoming, it's taught by one teacher, how come other students learned it better? And Xiaoming replied, because we are not born by the same parents. Xiaoming is really smart, but the teacher still asked him to get out of class. Why human beings have improper thoughts or bad thoughts? Because they are not born by the same parents, because the genes are different. Some are very intelligent, some are stupid, some are followers, some are pioneers. But you have to have the right view. To be entrepreneurs or pioneers, very creative. Someone established schools in the spirit world. How come nobody told me? Because I would like to build 101 tower like in Taipei for the suites, individual suites. Why did I want to build such suites next to the school? Because the students need to go home and live, so they can live in my suites. So they accept school tuitions every quarter, and I would accept my rents every month. They should have told me earlier. I can build that 101 tower So the students would need to rent, and also for their parents and grandparents, and also their descendants, they all need to live in the rooms. And then I would accept rents. So tell me your name, and then I would draw a key, and then you can go to that rooms to live, because that's your rooms. So I would number the rooms until millions of them, and each of the key would be different. And then you burn the keys, and your descendants would go to school in the spirit world and live in Grandmaster's rental rooms. So should have told me long ago. Only now you told me. But this is not the right view. Sakyamuni Buddha never taught about schools for the spirits. So this kind of invention or creativity is not right. And they are also talking about building temples in heavens. I haven't thought about that in order to get more money. So actually, Grandmaster is a hopeless person. You would say, Grandmaster, you say that, you sound so pessimistic. We should have hopes in order to continue to live. How come you say that you have no hopes? But what I mean is because my heart is serene and tranquil, like the mirror. My mind is at peace and at ease. I have no more desires. So that means no hopes. So what I mean by saying no hopes is that I have no more desires. None. I just follow the rules, comply with the 8 Noble Paths to cultivate spiritually. That's it. So that means I have no more hopes or expectations for money, for woman, for name. Like say, I want to be in history, and when I die, I would be commemorated by tons of people, like Confucius, that even after he died for thousands of years, we are still thinking of him. But I have no such expectation. So money, sex, name, food, and sleep. Do I want to eat certain things? No. Do I want to sleep? No. I just like to take a little nap, afternoon naps. That's it, like Xiaoming. So a hopeless person would have the right view, the right speech, the right mindfulness, the right conduct, the right diligence, the right samadhi. The teacher asked Xiaoming, use a statement to describe the ugly person. And Xiaoming replied, oh, there is a discrepancy in this. I mean, the idiom in a different homophone is like the face is abnormal. And if it's really ugly, it's like you can't stand to look at it. And then if it's ugly and old, and Xiaoming replied, it's just like you. And then the teacher said, get out of here. So is the teacher ugly and old? Grandmaster has no thoughts of discrimination. Or that only then that would be the right view. If a beautiful lady gets into my consultation room, I probably would glance a little bit more. It's normal because she's really beautiful. And would draw the fresh air around her because she's young and exudes freshness and fresh youth, fragrant air around her. That's nutritious. But if it's an elderly woman limping, entering into the consultation room, we have to be even more sympathetic toward her. Limping, or the blind, or mentally disturbed, or with the foul body odor. And of course, Grandmaster would hold his breath and then give you blessing. And still all the same would give you blessings and still provide the same politeness so that they live happily. So there's no difference, no discriminations between the beauty and the ugly. And most of the old people would be sick because when you're old, you would be sick, and then when you're sick, you would get older. Oldness, age, and sickness are inseparable. So for spiritual cultivators, you have to be like this, have no mind of discrimination, only this is the right view. You have money, and you come to see me. You're really rich, and I know. And then you offer the red envelope. I would receive it all the same. It's very thin, and that I would think it's a check. It turned out to be $5. But you're really rich. You have lots of real estate properties, lots of money, tons of money, but you just offered $5. And Grandmaster would treat you all the same. And if you come with no money, and I could tell you're really poor, that I wouldn't even want to accept your offering. And I would just tear a piece of the red envelope paper, and I would return the money to you because I know you have not much money. And I would help you all the same. Whether you're rich or poor, you can come for consultation. So after consultations, if you don't make any offerings, it's okay. I will not complain or resent. Because maybe you forget, or maybe you feel too embarrassed to offer $1. Maybe it's better not to offer anything. It's okay. I treat everybody equally. Only this would be the right view. But there's some masters who are like this. And they would spot the people who would bid for the auctions. So, like during the auctions, if you if you are the bidders, then many masters would follow them and then would tell them that I need to build temples, I need money, and then would invite them to their place and invite them for meals. So it's like a bait to get more money from you. So that's not good. That's not right. That's not the right view. You should treat everybody equally, whether you are the haves or the have-nots. Because all sentient beings have Buddha nature. They're all Buddhas. They're all great. So we all know that as spiritual cultivators, we have to be careful about this. So that's about the right or the noble, the right view, the right thoughts, the right speech, and the right conduct or the right work. So your work or your career should not involve pornography that would lead people into infidelity. So you should not be in the gambling business, because you would ignite people's greed or desire. And you should never be in the business of killing, or should not do killing. That would be the right conduct or the right work. And the teacher said Edison could use the mirror to reflect and perform surgery on his mom. And you're already in the 20s and you can't do anything. And the student replied that, but Edison was an inventor when he was 20 years old. But teacher, how old are you now? So Xiaoming's jokes are quite funny. And the teacher said, you reap what you sow, right? And Xiaoming said, this is so, this is not meaningful in English. So you put in one portion and you reap one portion. Why do you have to cultivate it? The teacher asked Xiaoming, so to heat a bun, it takes 1 minute, and to heat 9 buns, how many minutes? 9 minutes, Xiaoming said. And the teacher said, you silly, do you heat the bun one by one? So let me ask you, teacher, if it takes you 1 minute to eat a bun, how long does it take you to eat 10 buns? 10 minutes. You think I'm as silly as you, as dumb as you? And Xiaoming replied, in 10 minutes you eat 10 buns, then you would be so full. So there's the right view and also the incorrect view, and you need to be able to discern. There are a lot of issues about thoughts or mindsets. One afternoon, a guest visited the kindergarten and asked a little boy, are you 5 yet? And the little boy shook his head, I'm just 4, not yet 5. Oh, but there's a homophone in Chinese. It's like, have you taken the afternoon nap? This joke is not very funny, so please don't laugh. In the car, we met a beggar holding a piece of paper with this written on it. I am deaf and mute. Please give. And because I suspect that he's a cheat, he's a fake, so I said, I don't know how to read. And then he said, my wallet was stolen. I don't have money to go home. Can you please lend me some money? And then I was very surprised. Aren't you deaf and mute? And then the beggar said, well, didn't you recognize words? So this is an issue about thinking process. So our thinking should be the correct way. And you have to have the right speech. So you don't gossip or brag, and you don't lie, you don't sow discord, and you don't curse or say bad words. And the right work. And for spiritual cultivators, our work is to spread Buddha Dharma. And the right livelihood is to practice our own illumination, and the right diligence is you have to be correct and on the right path, and the right mindfulness with the right thoughts, and the right samadhi, that you don't add anything to it, and you don't strive for anything. A real meditation has no expectations whatsoever. You don't ask for anything in this kind of right meditation. But through the right meditation, you can attain Buddhahood. But if you meditate with a certain purpose, then you will not achieve Buddhahood. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.